Hello friends, 2nd October 1904. It has been 117 years since the day when this great leader was born. In today's video, we'll be talking about a diminutive and a self-effacing man who once occupied the office of the Prime Minister of India, that is, Sri Lal Bahadur Shastri. Shastriji served as the Prime Minister for just 18 months, and in that brief tenure, left a memorable imprint on the country as a politician, administrator, and a great war leader. Many in the present generation don't know that he authored the slogan Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, which captured the idea that peasants are as integral to the security of the country as soldiers. We'll be talking about what all reforms he brought to the country and a brief about the great leader in today's video titled Decoding the Reality of Lal Bahadur Shastri. Before proceeding any further, I present a clip in which Shastriji says a few words about the 1965 India-Pakistan war on the All India Radio.
मेरा निवेदन है कि वे इसे कभी न भूलें कि वे पहले भारतीय हैं और तब कुछ और। हमारे सभी मतभेद एक राष्ट्र और एक देश की पृष्ठभूमि में हल होने चाहिए। आइए हम सब इसका प्रयास करें ताकि हमारे अंदर एकता हो। तो हमें ऐसे रास्ते निकालने होंगे जिनसे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मेल जोल और बातचीत कर समझौते और शांति के साधन खोजे जा सकें। हमारी जनता में उत्साह और लगन है और हमारे लोग देश को मजबूत बनाने के लिए बड़ी से बड़ी कुर्बानी करने को हमेशा तैयार हैं, लेकिन कभी कभी वे घबरा भी जाते हैं और ऐसे काम कर बैठते हैं जिनसे हमें बाद में दुख होता है। संगठन और अनुशासन से ही राष्ट्र बलवान होते हैं।
Exactly 35 years from the day when the father of our nation, Gandhiji, was born in Porbandar, a boy named Lal Bahadur Srivastav, who later grew up to become the second Prime Minister of India, was born in the town of Mughal Sarai in the state of Uttar Pradesh. He not only shared his birthday with Gandhiji, but he too followed his principles of non-violence. Lal Bahadur Shastri was 16 when Gandhiji called upon his countrymen to join the non-cooperation movement. Taking inspiration from Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi and Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lal Bahadur Shastri gave up his studies to join the freedom movement in 1921. The decision shattered his mother's hope. The family could not dissuade him from what they thought was a disastrous course of action. But Lal Bahadur had made up his mind. All those who were close to him knew that he would never change his mind once it was made up, for behind his soft exterior was the firmness of a rock. He was a believer of equality and considered caste system a social evil that creates divide. Therefore, Lal Bahadur Shastri gave up his family name, which was Srivastav, at an early age. It was only after joining the Kashi Vidyapith and after getting a degree in philosophy, he received the epithet Shastri, which he later added to his name. Caste system was not the only social evil Lal Bahadur Shastri was fighting against. In 1927, he got married. His wife, Lalita Devi, came from Mirzapur, near his hometown. He also raised his voice against the dowry system and refused to accept anything from his wife's family at his wedding. It was only after repeated requests from his father-in-law, he took few meters of khadi cloth as a wedding gift. Being a part of the freedom movement landed up him in jail quite often, which is why he had to be on a parole of 15 days when his daughter fell sick. He was there with her when she succumbed to the disease. But without waiting any longer, and even after having some parole time at hand, he went back to jail soon after performing his daughter's last rites. When Shastriji was completing his term in prison, his wife received a pension of 50 rupees every month. Once, when his wife visited him in jail and told him that she was able to save 10 rupees from the pension, he got annoyed and asked the servant of People's Society to cut down his pension and give that 10 rupees to someone's needy family. After India's independence, Govind Ballabh Pant took over as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh and he appointed Shastriji as the Minister of Police and Transport Control. As the in charge of the transportation department, Shastriji brought about a meaningful change by appointing women as conductors for the first time. As the in charge of the police department, he replaced the traditional lathis with water jets to put crowd under control. He was also successfully able to control the communal riots of 1947. Among the long-term legacies of Shastriji's era was India's attainment of self-sufficiency in food. When he took office, agriculture was in crisis. India was infamously living from ship to mouth. Between 1960 and 1963, India had imported a staggering 15 million tons of US grains, and the amount of imports were rising each year. Chidambaram Subramaniam, who was the agriculture minister, with the support of Shastriji, took policy decisions that eventually led to the Green Revolution. Shastriji was the one who led the White Revolution along with Varghese Kurian, and then came Amul, and the rest came up written in golden words in the Indian history. Today, Shastriji is known for something he may not have trained for, as a war leader. The Indian military was still licking its wounds from the 1962 Indocina War, when Pakistan, hoping to rattle a new prime minister, initiated a series of provocations ostensibly aimed at liberating Kashmir. Pakistan had received US military aid for a decade, and its forces had achieved a conventional edge over the Indian military, especially in the areas of armor, artillery, and the air force. Pakistan also believed in its own myth that the manly Pathan, Field Marshal Ayub Khan, would make short work of the small, dhoti-clad vegetarian Shastriji. Hostilities began in 1965 with a feint in the Rann of Kutch, where Pakistan took advantage of the fact that the border had been delineated, though not demarcated, in the swampy region. There was some skirmishing, but Shastriji was not rattled. He emphasized his desire to resolve issues peacefully, acutely aware that the conflict would be used by Hindu chauvinists to stir up communal passions within India. Then began phase 2 of the Pakistani plan, Operation Gibraltar, or the invasion of Jammu and Kashmir by covert forces with the view of sparking a domestic uprising like the one that had followed the Hazratbal threat. Apparently that did not happen, and the local Kashmiris helped the Indian army round up the infiltrators. The devastating Indian response came in the capture of the Haji Pir Pass, a key point of ingress, on August 30, 1965. This, if anything, was India's real surgical strike. Pakistan upped the ante. Under Operation Grand Slam, it sent 2 armoured regiments in to cut the roads from East Punjab to Jammu and Kashmir. Indian forces fell back in the face of the assault, and the situation looked grim. In an emergency committee of the cabinet, Shastriji took 2 key decisions. First, he ordered the Indian Air Force to assist the army. Then he gave the go-ahead for the Indian counter-attack, an attack across the international border towards Lahore, which caught Pakistan flat-footed. The war carried on till September 23. Despite command failures and setbacks, India came out ahead because Pakistan failed to make any gains in Kashmir and suffered a decisive defeat in Khemkaran in Punjab. Shastriji's cool-headed leadership was vital in those days. The United States was staying away from the region. The British were discredited, and the Chinese had jumped into the fray on the behalf of Pakistan. Shastriji's style was of wide consultation, and the military brass, as well as party colleagues, parliament, and the cabinet. In the post-war Tashkent talks brokered by the Soviet Union, he walked the talk of peace and did not rub Pakistan's nose in its defeat. He was willing to return captured territory in Haji Pir and on the Lahore front, real estate that was more valuable than what Pakistan had in Jammu and Rajasthan. Shortly after the signing of the Tashkent Agreement, his heart gave out. Shastriji passed away in Tashkent in the early hours of January 11, 1966. It is very much evident how important principles were to Shastriji. He always followed the right and wasn't slightly biased even to his family. We thank him for his actions that shaped the future of India. This exceptional scholar and leader must be remembered dearly by the nation for his efforts and just nature. More than 30 years of dedicated service were behind Lal Bahadur Shastri. In the course of this period, He came to be known as a man of great integrity and competence. Humble, tolerant, with great inner strength and resoluteness, he was a man of the people who understood their language. He was also a man of vision who led the country towards progress. India's second Prime Minister deserves to be not just remembered, which India does from time to time, but emulated, which no one aspires to do. He was ethical, wise, and far-sighted, and a large-hearted and pragmatic team player. The adjectives could go on and on. I hope you found the video informative. Drop a like if you enjoyed it and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.